Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into the life of a truly monumental historical figure, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. We're going to be extracting the core principles of his enduring historical impact to see exactly how his intense preparation, his deep purpose, and his profound leadership built a legacy that people are still actively studying today. Let's get right into it. Here is the agenda for today's Explainer. We're breaking down his life into 5 main pillars. 1. The founder of Swarajya. 2. Years of preparation. 3. A vision beyond self. 4. A lasting legacy. And 5. Lessons in leadership. Kicking things off with Section 1, the founder of Swarajya, context and identity. So he is universally remembered as the founder of Swarajya, which essentially means self-rule, and the architect of the independent Maratha state. Picture this, it's the 17th century, and the landscape is totally dominated by these massive, sprawling empires. We're talking heavy taxation and constant, exhausting conflict. But he didn't just passively exist in that era, He successfully responded to the immense problems of his time through bold leadership, brilliant military innovation, and dedicated public service. These are really his foundational achievements. Moving right along to Section 2, years of preparation, the mechanics of achievement. We kind of have this habit of looking at history as a highlight reel of sudden, dramatic victories. But as you'll see, his achievements were absolutely not isolated events. Actually, scratch that. They were the ultimate culmination of intense, long-term preparation, relentless learning, and deep perseverance. Long before he ever established an independent kingdom, he spent his youth meticulously surveying the rugged terrain of the Sahyadris, figuring out local administrative structures, and building rock-solid alliances with local communities. All this deep preparation built a highly effective methodology. Historians frequently point out 3 distinct components in his approach. First up, strategic thinking. He was always anticipating the next move, famously utilizing the tricky geography of the Deccan totally to his advantage. Second, maintaining a fierce commitment to a larger mission. And third, and this is absolutely crucial, having the unique ability to actually inspire others to join that deeply personal cause. So, what happens when you combine that strategic thought, commitment, and inspiration? Well, the outcome wasn't just a single military victory or a temporary win. Instead, it was the fundamental, systemic transformation of existing institutions, societies, and political structures. He literally changed the fabric of how his society operated. He introduced merit-based military ranks, created an independent navy to protect the coastline, and implemented fair agricultural taxation policies that actually protected ordinary farmers. A real game changer. Which brings us to Section 3, a vision beyond self. Unpacking the purpose. What actually fueled all this relentless drive and strategic genius? Well, a massive recurring theme in his life is a profound sense of purpose. He was consistently driven by a vision larger than personal gain. Think about it. When you're trying to completely overthrow the status quo and build a brand new political structure from the ground up, personal ambition is rarely enough to sustain you. You need a deeply rooted vision that goes way, way beyond yourself. Whether he was striving for freedom, equality, justice, or broad national development, understanding these deep motivations is the absolute key to explaining his success. He wasn't just fighting battles, he was pursuing innovation. For instance, he created systems of justice that strictly punished the exploitation of civilians, setting a standard that influenced generations after him. It's precisely these high-level motivations that explain why his legacy is so enduring. And that flows perfectly into Section 4, a lasting legacy, impact across generations. His legacy takes up a massive amount of intellectual and physical space in our modern world. His ideas are continually examined in schools, explored in extensive books, and analyzed in research facilities in public institutions across the globe. Even modern leadership programs and military academies are still drawing on his life for inspiration in strategy and governance. He's an active, living framework of study today, not just a static figure from the 17th century. You can clearly see a direct cause and effect relationship here. His core traits of unwavering determination, continuous learning, immense courage, and selfless public service literally resulted in the shaping of history. His story is the ultimate proof that these personal virtues, when applied systematically to real-world governance, can fundamentally alter the trajectory of a whole nation. Finally, let's wrap up with Section 5, Lessons in Leadership, applying the framework. Whether you're a student, a researcher, a content creator, or a leader yourself, his life provides an absolute masterclass. The key takeaways you should really be pulling from his profile are profound lessons in leadership, innovative problem solving, and the absolute necessity of long-term thinking. If you want to build something that actually lasts, this is the blueprint you need to study. While a granular, day-by-day timeline reveals the intricate details of his life, zooming out to this kind of conceptual overview gives us the true anatomy of his greatness. We're able to clearly see those universal themes of preparation, purpose, and lasting impact that completely defined his reign. So, knowing that Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj used determination, relentless learning, and selfless service to build Swarajya, the final provocative question you've got to ask yourself is this: how will your own learning and courage shape history? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. I really hope this structured look at a brilliant historical mind has sparked some major curiosity for you. Keep learning, and I'll catch you next time.